Hey, what is up, awesome people? 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐸 back with some PixARK, and in the last video I had a bunch of trouble with this sauropod or brontosaurus or whatever you want to call them. The issue is there's just way too many of them, and they're so big it's just really easy to accidentally hit one of them, and they shake the ground so much it's pretty annoying. And from what I can see, there is no way to adjust that dino spawn. In 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐸 Survival Evolved, you could adjust the dino count multiplier, and by moving that number up and down, you could control the overall amount of dinos on the map. You could also control the individual dino spawns, even completely eliminating a dino type from spawning, or even replacing them out with another type of creature. I used to do that a lot in my maps. I always thought there were too many piranhas, and it made it way too hard to navigate the water, so I'd always replace out the piranhas with some other type of fish. But right now you can't do that in PixARK. I tried and it just didn't work. Also in regular ARK you can turn off camera shake, but that's not an option either. Hopefully they eventually do add these options in. So the easiest solution right now to all this is probably not to build in the grasslands, especially if something like this is going to bother you. But if you're determined to live amongst these giant beasts, there are a couple ways that you're going to be able to do that. The first way is to block them out. You're going to need to build your walls out of rock or better. The sauropod cannot destroy or damage stone structures. And the key number here is you want to build your walls 6 high. At 6 high, they can't walk over the wall. You also have to be careful if you're building off the side of a mountain like I did here, because all the ground creatures, including the sauropod, can use natural steps. So if there's a path that they can climb up and then climb back down, they're going to do that. I ended up digging the back side of the mountain down, separating my blocked out area from the mountain, and after I did that, the sauropod could not hit me any longer. But this just wasn't my ideal place to build a base. I like to look outside. I like to see what's going on. I mean, this is okay if you don't mind that and you want to live down in a cave. This will definitely work. But another way you could deal with them is to build an island. And to do that, it is pretty simple. It's just time consuming. I started by building a walkway from the edge of the land out over the water. It is a little bit tricky placing the blocks in front of one another. They just don't seem to want to place real well. The trick to this is to move to the very, very edge of the block, almost to the point that you're hanging off. And then you should be able to place down a block in front of the other one. You can also place down the blocks while you're in the water, but the issue with that is there are a lot of aggressive sea creatures, and once you get in that water, they'll come after you. Now, by taking my time and moving out and placing one block in front of the other, I was eventually able to get a pretty long bridge out over the water. And once I had that bridge out far enough from the coast, then I just started building a frame of a square off of that, doing the same thing, one block in front of the other. Now, once you get the outside frame of your island down, those middle blocks are pretty easy to place down. You also have to be careful about placing blocks down in water, because water in PixARK is not like normal water. It's actually a block. If you place a block down in water, you're not displacing the water. You're actually destroying a water block. So if you place the block down in the wrong spot and then you have to go back and remove it, you're going to end up with an empty space. Now, you can fill this back in if you go into creative mode, but if you're on an official server, that's not going to be an option. So be careful about where you're placing your blocks down at. So after I finished, this is what I ended up with. I'm pretty happy with this. I really like it. The bridge is too small for the sauropods to navigate out here, and they can't go down into that water and make their way out here either, because the natural steps that lead down into the water from the coast, they drop off drastically, preventing them from going down in there. I'm also far enough away from them that that ground shake doesn't affect me out here either. Overall, I like this setup. I personally like having a base on water. I think it gives me plenty of room to expand, and I like being able to let my dinos wander. So this is where I'm going to set up and begin building more of a permanent base. I hope you guys found this video useful. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yeah, 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐸 got your back. It's so entertaining. You need to subscribe to Got Your Back gaming gameplay and reviews, even doing walkthroughs. This the best gaming channel. I'm just telling you the truth. PS4, Xbox One, or even PC. Plenty tips, all the tricks. This is just what you need.